in the BIOS and see if we can change the okay, so here you see the boot priority. So it is looking at the SSD first, and then the flash drive. So what I'm going to do is see if I can move this up. There are two flash drives, so I'm not sure which one it is. So I'm going to move both of them on the top, and then save and exit and see if that one does it. Okay, so we'll do this one more time. I don't know why it says we haven't made, oh yeah, I didn't save it. Interesting. So maybe click here. Okay, so it is correct. Boot menu. Okay, so it is still showing the SSD here. Okay. How do we go back? It says initialize library failed. Okay. I'm going to turn it off, then turn it back on, and see what's going on here in terms of the boot configuration, the boot order. If it doesn't work, I may have to do a bit of research and figure out how to resolve this issue. Okay, so we are back in our BIOS. It says choose one and drag items. So I did choose that, and I did choose that. Let's just try this and see if it is does it. See what happens. Right? Okay. Okay, so we see that spinning wheel, so I'm hopeful. Here we go. So we're gonna install Windows now. That's great news. Okay, so English, all of this looks good. Let's do next. And this is Windows 10, by the way, Windows 10 64 bit. So that's the version we're using. So that's to install now. So this is going to take some time. So once it's done, we're going to come back, and there are several settings to do within Windows. So I will, as I'm doing those settings, I will walk you through it. But as you can see, it says upgrade, install Windows and keep file setting applications, which type of installation. So I'm just gonna use the this one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's not letting me do the file setting application. Move to Windows with this option. The option is only available when supported version of Windows is already. Okay, so we don't have a Windows already running. Okay, so that wouldn't work. So we're going to do the custom. Okay, so it is showing our the SSD drive, which is 256 gigabytes. So that's the right one. And again, I forgot to mention that you definitely want to get something. You don't necessarily need a 256, but you definitely want to get something at least 64 GB, I would say, or more for the SSD, but they're pretty cheap. So I got the one, the next big version. And so again, it's going through the installation. So we'll let this run for a few minutes, maybe it may take longer than a few minutes, and we will come back to it. Okay, so Windows installation is complete. Now it's more the setup. So let's go through that. This should be relatively quick. I'm gonna skip the layout. Okay, so it's checking for updates, which is good. And we're gonna, when we go in, we will also look for updates because we want to make sure that the system is updated. And I say that because we do want to turn off automatic updates because then that could interfere with the operation of the rig. So okay, so looks like we're up to date. But again, we'll check that again when we get into the Windows home screen. We should be here in any minute now. It's going through its configuration. And okay, so what we're going to do this is set up for personal use because we're using it at home. So we're going to do that. And then it's asking for email. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an offline account. So let's do that. And then again, we don't need some of these apps, so we can just say limited experience and the name. So we're gonna name this Crypto with Kids. That's our channel. And then password. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna confirm it. Pretty standard setup steps so far, nothing unique. Okay, so we don't want Cortana, so we're gonna say no. And then we don't want some of these information, ads, speech recognition. So we're gonna turn that off, and then say accept. And here we go. We're logging into our system, right, into a computer now. You're gonna go through a few more settings around. But before we do that, one of the things I'm going to do is first go into our Windows updates and see if there are any more updates to be made. And then I want to make some settings around to make the computer boot faster, as well as some of the power settings, so that we don't want to optimize power settings, we want performance. And then one key piece which I'll cover is the memory settings, especially once we start adding the GPUs. You want to make sure. Okay, so as you all know by now, we ran into a lot of issues, and I narrowed down to two main areas. One is the Windows itself. So we have Windows 10, but a new ISO file, and that seems to be working fine, and all the updates have gone through. And then there's also an issue with the internet connection through the TP-Link connector, which we talked about earlier. So look at different options to get online. So it is online right now, so that's where we are. So I'm going to run through some basic Windows setting now. So we go to the search bar, type run, and we do call net, NET, PLWIZ. What this setting is it allows us to log in without the password. So let's see here. Now that this is a new version of the Windows, let's see if we do properties. Okay, so that's not, I don't see an option here. So, okay, so it looks like we don't have that option to auto login, which was the case with the earlier version of the Windows, which is fine. See if we can do this again. Yeah, so now we're definitely running as an administrator, so which is good. We don't want to add anything. Okay, so we will stay with this for now. I wonder if there's any way to do the net please for this one. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so with that done, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go to the power settings. So we're gonna go into the search bar, do power sleep settings, and you're gonna go to additional power settings. Again, this is a more updated version of Windows. So okay, so we do have high performance, we want that. And then we say change plan settings, and we don't want the display to be turned off, and we don't want the computer to be put to sleep. Okay, so that's good. So that's the other change we want to make. And then I believe that should do it, because we turn display, the computer. Okay, so then what we're going to do here is let's see. Okay, we're going to go to advanced settings right here, and we want this one to be 0. And then we want to check the PCI Express. That should be off. So we go into PCI Express, we go into link state power management, and it's off. So that's great. That's exactly what we want. We hit apply, and then we hit OK. Okay, so I think we're done with the power settings. Another thing we're going to do here is performance. So we're going to type performance here, and then we're going to adjust the appearance and performance of Windows. Again, we want for best performance, not necessarily for best appearance. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go in advanced, and these VRAM settings. Let's see if we can change it. I do, so like I said before, this is a critical step for it to read all your graphics card and use its memory. So we have a 6 GB graphic card, and we're gonna have 6 of them. So that's 36. And then you add another 4 from your memory. So that's about 40 gigs, and that is 40960 megabytes. So let's see if it'll do that. And we hit apply. Okay, apply. Okay, and so we've done that. We've done the power settings. We've done the performance settings, the virtual memory. There are a few other things around Windows Update and Windows Defender, which let's do the Windows Update real quick and see, because we want to maybe pause it for some time. So we go for check for updates again. Windows Update, as you can see, it's all running fine. So let's go here. Let me pause it for now. We can go to advanced options, see if we can. Okay, so that's off. And then maybe we pause it. Let's see how far we can go. Let's pause it for till March. Okay, so that's good. We pause it for some time, because I want to make sure once the system is running and it's mining, there's some Windows is not pushing additional updates. Okay. I do want to see if there's a way to turn off the Defender here. So let's see if there's settings. I'm just in the security. Okay. So this is something we'll have to do through the registry file. I'm going to skip that for now, and we'll come back to it. So I believe that should be the main Windows setting, is really the making sure Windows is fully all the updates are installed, which is, we have done that. We adjusted the power settings so that it doesn't turn off. We have also changed the virtual memory, and we have disabled Windows update, or actually we have paused it for some time. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this off, and then plug our first GPU